Welcome back to G-Ball Vision, everyone. Thank you for stopping in. Today we got a couple of unboxings to dig into, some EDC updates, and some other gear and knives to talk about. Before we get started, double check and make sure you are subscribed here to the channel. Release new knife and EDC content every single day. I'd love to have you here. Make sure you hit that thumbs up button. It really helps push the video out there so more people have a chance to check it out. Let me know what you're carrying in your pockets today down there in the comments. Love hearing from you and what you are carrying for the day. I always try to put what I'm carrying in the pinned comment. I always try to remember at least. So thank you to Real Steel, Rovyvon, for sending these items in for us to take a look at. I was excited to introduce this knife on the EDC update. It's a model we've checked out many times, but this is a version that we have never checked out. So I'm pretty stoked. And I saw a photo of this thing, and boy, does it look awesome. I'm not a huge fan of G10 in most instances, but on this knife, I'm willing to make an exception. With the all blacked out blade hardware and liners, with the contrast of the buttons, this thing looks pretty sweet. And if you want, you can always dye the jade. In this case, I would leave it as it is. Now, the Sacra here from Real Steel is a phenomenal, affordable knife. If you're looking for a lightweight, kind of do-it-all, everyday carry, this is a great option. Not only is it lightweight, it is very rigid because you do have this internal taco steel frame with G10 over top of it. You just have a very rigid feel. Going to be great to carry this knife. It's lightweight. You have a minimal pocket clip here, and it is going to be left-hand friendly, making this a completely ambidextrous knife with its carry, its disengagement, and its opening method here with these thumb studs, which I might say are done just phenomenally. This is one of my favorite setups right here. This crossbar and these thumb studs it feels so good to actuate and disengage this knife. Anyone who has a Sacra, I guarantee, will tell you it is extremely comfortable and easy to open and disengage this knife. We have a PVD coated Bowler K110 blade here, and for those who don't know, K110, it's Bowler's version of D2, but in this case, we want the Bowler K110. It is going to be held to a D2 standard. Unlike randomized D2, where from Joe Schmuckatelli, you don't know where it's coming from, you don't know who's doing it or anything like that, the K110 is being done by Bowler. So we know we're going to be getting the right treatment of the steel. And in this case, we're going to be getting a very good steel. It has its corrosion issues, but because of this coating, it really solves this coating, and a little tiny bit of care will take care of all that. So in this case, you have an extremely fine steel in K110, making this knife right here a nice little package. That is what she said, and that is also what she said about the Sacra. So let's move our attention and switch gears, go over to this Rovyvon here. Thank you to Rovyvon for sending this in for us to take a look at. This is called the Angel Eyes here, the E1. Now, do not be confused. I will link all the items we talk about here down in the description, along with some other items from some of these companies, but there are multiple Angel Eyes versions, hence the E1. I was under the impression I was getting a certain Angel Eyes. Come to find out, it was the E1. Not a big deal, but I wasn't under the impression there was several different ones. So come to find out, there are several different ones, and that's just something to keep in mind. But I'll try my best to link all of them down in the description. You're more than welcome to use all the links that I provide, and they also help out the channel. If you want to use them, That is entirely up to you. We have a couple of key rings here and an extra battery compartment cover there, which is a really nice touch. And we have here a detachable pocket clip. So that is really cool. It's going to be a deep carry. So let's just shoot for somewhere here in the middle. That looks like a good spot. Looks like you just wrap it around and then push it, and you are set up good to go, it looks like. Is that right? Oh. There we go. I think you want to get both sides kind of clipped on there. There we go. Nice. So even if you don't want to pocket clip carry this thing, you can throw a key ring on here and put it on your keys. I would leave this on here just in case. That way you always have the option. If I have this on my keys, I always have the option to take it off my keys and slip it into the pocket or slip it into a pack or whatever, and I got my pocket clip here. It might almost benefit, unless you know this is only going to be a pocket carry, you could put the key ring on here and the pocket clip both. That way, at all times, you have options for this flashlight. Now, this flashlight is really cool. We do have USB-C for a recharging component, like I mentioned earlier. This is called Angel Eyes because we have two different LEDs there, which we'll check out here in a moment. Now, what's really awesome is, check this out. You see that little gate there? This thing has the ability to also accept a AAA, and you have the ability to switch between the internal 300 milliamp hour battery or your AAA battery. If you get a good quality AAA, slide that bad boy in there, and you got two different sources of power in this flashlight. Absolutely love that. I cannot tell you enough how much I love that ability. I wish all flashlights had that. Had the recharging capability, but I got a backup of a triple or double A as well. I love that idea. So let's see what we got. One single press is going to be moonlight mode, as you can see there. A double press is going to be SOS on the second there. And you can hold it down, and that'll give you high mode, which is going to be 700 lumens. Now, if you want to get into the base modes, you double click the top button. That is going to automatically send you into high, I believe. No, it won't. It must be where you last left off. So it'll start on wherever you just left off, I think. Let's see. So there's low, medium, and high. And then, like I said, a single press is going to be your moonlight mode, which is awesome. So if you just need a little bit of light, you have that ability with like a little half lumen. So let's see here. So yeah, it'll kick off wherever you last left it. So that is cool. I like this little thing a lot. You'll have to let me know. Do you like that same type of abilities in a flashlight, or do you wish it was more available in other flashlights? I know I sure do. I know a lot of people are either, I don't like internal rechargeable batteries. Some people love just regular AA, AAA, alkaline type batteries, and some people love external rechargeable batteries. I like all the stuff. I think everything has its place, right? Don't get me wrong. I think everything has its place. I'm not against any one thing. I think if you're going to have, a selection of gear, I think you should have something that is a rechargeable battery. I think you should have an external rechargeable battery operated flashlight and the ability to put a AAA, AA in your flashlight. So if that means having 3 or 4 different flashlights, I think that's a great move. That way you're covered from around the house to leaving the house. And we've talked about that many times before in the past. So there's the couple of brand spanking new items that we're really going to be honing in on, especially the flashlight there. But one thing I wanted to revisit is going to be this Nextool. I have decided to make this a permanent part of my EDC, which I don't typically do. Now that I actually have several different multi-tools either here or en route to me, I'm going to start making it a priority to keep these multi-tools with me. I have a couple from Nextool, a couple from Roxxon, and some others on the way as well. And one thing I have been doing with this one, I've heard this often compared to the Leatherman Wave, and in some cases I agree, but I also think a fair comparison is the Free series from Leatherman. Now, this is the P2, so not going to be quite as large, but this Nextool Flagship Pro is a 19-in-1 multi-tool at $50. The Free series is going to be like triple that, I think, or somewhere in that ballpark. Now, you are going from USA there with the Leatherman to Chinese made, but Chinese have been making good quality products for a long time. Does shoddy work come out of there? Sure it does. It comes out of America too. Don't get that twisted up. But in the case of Nextool here, they're a company that has paved a very solid road since they kind of came out into the public eye. They have had a lot of feedback when it comes to consumers and reviewers, and they've really honed in some things. They are still, they are currently working on upgrading things even further. But here, this thing really drew me in because you get a full set of pliers and wire cutters here. You get a nice set of scissors right here. And these things came sharp as a whistle. I was cutting 550 and 1100 paracord with this. No problems, no fraying, no twisting of the rope. I mean, just cutting right through the stuff, cutting right through thin telephone book paper where a lot of scissors would just bend the paper in half. This was just cutting it right down the middle. So far, I'm a big fan of this thing. I want to get it outside. I don't know what steel they're using. That's another question I have to get with them and ask them about. Somebody might know. If you know, let me know down in the comments. I don't know if they're using like some sort of 440 type, if they're using like 3, 4, 5 CR. I know it's not anything even like mid-level, because I think it would, say for sure if it's 9CR or D2, something of that nature. I think it would be blatantly obvious. But because it's not, I think it's something like 440 or 3, 5 CR. And if the entire thing, except like the straight edge, was made out of that, I think that'd be fine. But I'd love to see the blade steel bumped up in this to like a D2 or something of that nature, or a 9CR, 10CR, something like that. Even if it's just the blade here. I think that would be a smart move. And if that puts the cost up $10, $15, or, I don't know, whatever it might be, I think it would be worth it to do that. I think that would be a huge draw. That's just one thing that I would recommend and tell them, and I will tell them. But I think for $50, if you're looking for a full-size multi-tool that's not going to break the bank, that has a nice list of tools, I think this is a really, really solid option. Now, it doesn't come with the main drawback to this is there's no pocket clip and there's no like belt pouch. that comes with it. So, you know, if you have one laying around or something, then it would be worth it. Or if you're planning on keeping it in a backpack or a pouch, you know, then no big deal. But that's just something to keep in mind. I think that's something else they need to incorporate is either a solid pouch or like a belt pouch or some sort of pocket clip for on this thing. That's just, you know, my 2 cents on it. A lot of people will dump a multi-tool at the bottom of their pocket or something like that and rock it that way. A lot of people do that. I have no problem with that. But I think to go to that next level, go to that next step with their multi-tools, I think a few tweaks and they would have something extremely solid there. I think they already do, but to take themselves to that next level, I think that would be a great move. And to revisit what I am mainly carrying as kind of like a backup, the Daily Carry Co. tie slide here. It basically stays a part of my EDC rotation. I do have links and coupon codes to the entire store of Daily Carry Co., which is linked down below. Take 10% off anything on their store. And I also have some big news coming from Daily Carry Co., which I'm really, really excited about. But they are a company that has some really solid knives and other gear, EDC related things, pouches and other EDC gear pieces. You'd have to head over there and check it out to see what I'm talking about, but their inventory grows every single day, and it's been really cool to see what they've been up to. But we have some really cool things from Daily Carry Co. in the works, and I'm really stoked to show you guys when the time gets here. Now, the last thing I wanted to bring out, this has definitely been and going to stay a part of the EDC rotation here for a little bit. The off-grid knives, Mamba V3 and Magna Cut and titanium. This thing is just absolutely wicked, and I love this thing so much. Full titanium handle, Magna Cut, titanium pocket clip there. Great detent on this thing. Absolutely love this knife. That is going to be staying a part of the EDC. And one more I'm going to be messing around with from time to time is this knife here. Now, I can't think of the name. I think it's called... I can't think of the name. But it's from a new company called Valhalla. And this knife right here, it looks like it could be a $500 knife. It looks like it could be. But this is actually D2 and steel. And it's like 50 bucks. And I love this thing. I have not been able to put this thing down. Came with a hell of an edge on it. It feels extremely good in the hand. If you like large knives, this thing is just ridiculous. The full unboxing should be out of this knife by the time you're seeing this update. 50-ish bucks. This thing is ridiculous. I am telling you what, it is just awesome. If you're a knife guy and you just like knives, right? This is really cool. This is a knife, right? That's not a knife. This is a knife right here. Big old boy. But if you didn't see the unboxing for this knife here, highly recommend and going and checking it out. All the link to this down in the description. A link to all of this stuff down in the description. I hope you have an awesome day today. Thank you for watching. Let me know what your favorite piece of gear here is today. I love hearing from you. Let me know what your favorite gear is, period. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up button Always appreciate that, everyone. If you're new here, we release knife and EDC content every single day. Hit that subscribe button, ring the bell. I'd love to have you here. I'll put up a couple of new videos. Go check one of them out. Have yourself an awesome day. Thank you all again for watching, and I will catch you on the next one.